Welcome to Hearts of the Community. It's my first time not saying but welcome to Hearts of the Community with you and Jay. I'm Jay.
And I'm Jew.
And if you're wondering why I look like I'm about to jump out of a plane, it is because, yes, you guessed it, I have a spot on my shirt and I wanted to cover it up. If you wanted to know what insecurity looks like, boom.
Hey, firsthand, because I promise you, I thought he's at school right now. So I just was like, he got his backpack on. Yo,
All a part of my plan.
we got to talk about this because this is something that he does over honesty. This man will tell on himself, so you can't do it. He There's a situation where he was driving, something happened, and
You can tell it all. I don't care. It's over with now.
okay, so he got pulled over by the police. Whoop, whoop. They flicked him, right? Boys tell him, yo, your registration is expired. Go take care of that. So he like, cool, no ticket, bet. He texts me, dude, guess what? Bada, 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 bada. I got pulled over. This was gonna happen, but if I get pulled over again, long story short, I'm gonna just let the officer know that my license is expired, so that way they don't say nothing to me. I'm like, you're gonna willingly tell on yourself? Like, what if that officer is asshole? That's one. What if he gonna give you a ticket? Like you giving him everything he did. The coke is on my lap, sir. You're giving him everything he did. He like, Jew, no. What do you mean? Honesty, like you. Hey, and he be using me against me sometimes, and he be catching me. He be like, Jew, over communication. That's what you say. Always over communicate. Honesty, like, time out, Blackie. I don't say it like that. That's not the context. You communicate with people who don't got this authority. So, long story short, he's still doing it. And he hasn't learned his lesson because y'all would have had no idea. We can't even see the stain at this angle.
You do it too. Let me say that.
That's a response.
That's what kids say when they get in trouble. They just start looking for people. Well, he was doing it too. But no, what I want to say, I want to defend myself here. All right. One, I do believe that there is something in honesty, but here is the real deal that you are gonna like, right? What it really is the insecurity. I am so honest in those regards. I can't hold water. Like it's killing me more than it's killing the police officer. It's like, oh my God, I know exactly what he's gonna do. Like he saw it, didn't he? He saw it, didn't he? So it's like I can't hold water. It's like you remember old Jamie Foxx? Oh, welcome to 7-Eleven, man. I'll take you. Like I can't hold it.
Y'all know what's even
Welcome
funnier than that is that he's so honest. He'd be like, bro, don't do no dirt with me. Like, bro will tell you, but you know what? This goes into what we're going to talk about today. You have to know yourself because that's an important factor. I don't know how that ties in because
I don't either, but I'll give context because you made it sound like I was a snitch. I don't work for that.
No.
Let's get that. Let's get that clear, right? I ain't no willing niche where I just be like, yeah, come on, I'll go, and y'all know I'm gonna tell, right? No, what I always tell people is I do live my truth. If you're doing something so bad where it's gonna affect all of us, just don't tell me. And I don't mean don't tell me and have me there. Just be like, hey, bro, you ready to go home? I'll pick up on it real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is about time to go home. All right, cool. Right? Because I can honestly say I pay attention to people's body language and everything, right? You know the majority of the time when somebody lying, right? All of the time I get it. But you know, going to movies again. You know, what's the movie? Why Did I Get Married? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Here it is.
Right. I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to lie like children do. When they look at you in your eye and they don't blink and they be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Time out though. You know what's funny? This brings up the question that it's been going on the internet. Can civilians be a snitch?
Technically, yes, because of the definition, but all based off of the rules, the street rules, no.
What's the definition? Because now, did
Look
we put the yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
snitch.
And still inform on someone. So yeah, if it's just an informer, then yep, I would agree.
That's a technical answer.
That is a
He did.
technical. Hey, dang, you know what's so crazy? We're the only community that does black and white things like that. like you're not trying to protect your community, you're snitching when you're not a part of anything but wanting to be a part of the community. James, I'm asking you, for you personally, is it selfish to help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, and why? If you say yes, and why isn't it if you say no?
Is it selfish? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna just answer. I'm not even gonna look the definition of selfish up. It is selfish because they don't want the help. Now, the reason that is that pretty straightforward to answer the
Mhm.
question?
Yeah,
Okay. My question, this is where it gets difficult. Some people don't know they need help. And I feel like that's where we're selfish, and it's still selfish, but you're trying to help them. But since they don't know they need help, they can't receive it.
I think that's an
But
excuse people say. How do somebody not know they need help? Even people that are in domestic violence situations think at certain times, I need help, but it's the
mhm.
fear of leaving. It's
But
so
that's the severe. That's severe. I
uh-huh.
mean, someone that does something unknowingly or unconsciously, and a lot of people blame them for it, but they don't see it, and they could be in denial. But it's, I guess you're right still. So until you take that accountability and
But you
address it,
there was a key part, the delivery. They blamed them for it. So what does that look like? Because if they blame them for it, that makes sense why they're already on the defensive. So you're not trying to help them anymore. You're trying to prove that you're right. So that goes back to what's your point in trying to help? Are you trying to help to get them to understand the point, or are you trying to get them to know, like, that's how our conversation started? Are you trying to get them to
and you just caught yourself. You
uh-huh.
censored your. Yeah, I got you. I got you. You
Hey,
still got
baby
that
brother
one
be
though.
on it now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Brother. Um, that's it's like, are you trying to converse with them to show them that you're right, or are you trying to actually help them to understand, yo, this is something that you do? Because if it's the latter, where it's like, yo, you're trying to get them to understand this is something that you do, you would never get upset with them pushing back, because it's like, yo, this is for
Mhm.
you. But when you're trying to get them to understand this is what you do, and I need you to understand that I know that of course you're gonna be mad when they in denial about it, because you're trying to prove them wrong. So that's
Mm.
why it always, so even like, and this is always the difficult conversations, people who are addicted to drugs. Now, literally, what's the first step of the program? Admitting you're addicted. So the reason that's the first step is because if I'm still in denial with self, how can I ever get help? So if I'm reaching out for help now, that's a different thing. Now you got people who reach out for help to use, and you got people who reach out to help to actually need help. How do you tell the difference? If I'm reaching out for you, James, I need $20 always. Why is that number so specific? Why do you always need $20? And why are you not able to do this for yourself? Now, if you've been going through a financial thing, it's like, well, am I loaning this to you? Are you having it? That's important context to be had. Because if I'm giving it to you, that means I don't expect money back. But if I'm borrowing it to you, then that's different. So now that brings us back. Helpful. How do you define what's helpful? I'm sorry, that was a question for you. How would you how would you define what's helpful?
Man, you know what? These questions are difficult when I've grown in these areas because I'm giving your answers. I feel like I should be speaking for the people and you answering it. So I'm talking like you a little bit here, but my definition of being helpful is assistance to someone who wants. Well, no, I'm gonna say assistance because somebody doesn't need to offer that they need help for you to still be helpful, right?
Yeah.
So, if you look at one of our old episodes, we're talking about senior citizens that try to get over on the younger people, right? Now, if I see a lady who's about to walk to her truck and she looks like she can't lift a lot of what's in there, and I go over there and say, "Hey, man, would you like some assistance? Can I help you with that?" And I'm actually not trying to steal her groceries, but help her put them in
If in
her
Texas,
trunk.
she might think that.
Facts. Anywhere at this point. But, because they don't do that like they used to. But that is helpful. She didn't ask for that. She could take that jacket off and have muscles, like been at the same gym that I'm at.
Get
Like,
to it.
oh, thanks. Right. She might not
Watch
even
out,
need
young
no help.
guy.
Right. Or her husband could just be moving a little bit slower or was, talking to somebody. And, that doesn't disregard my helpfulness. I hope that's a word. Y'all gonna fry me in the
Yeah.
chat. Helpfulness?
Everybody be writing in that bad boy.
Not yet.
They will. They gonna go back and look. Talk about some helpfulness. Get him off the camera. Nah, I completely agree though. I think that's a fine line between offering it and control. Cause somebody could just go grab the groceries. Here, let me help you with that. Now, some people might be open to that, where it's like, yeah, that's nice. I like that. That could again treat people how they want to be treated. This is stranger, so you don't know them. So to me, over communication, you can never go wrong. Only time over communication is bad is, well, personally, the only time I think people who don't like over communication is people that's trying to get over. Other than that, I don't think I can't like I can't see another reason why somebody wouldn't want to understand something like that. Yeah,
Is it that they're not trying to get over, but they don't want to hear all of that?
no, because
That's
we
not an
both
option.
because we okay. Oh, context. Do they understand and I don't understand? Because that does makes a difference. If they understand and I don't, they can be like, I don't want to hear all that.
They understand, and I
Yeah,
don't.
then yeah, they can be like that. That is different
Okay.
because me
Okay.
and OG actually is like that because I'm that kind of person. It's like,
Who's
look,
OG?
that's so crazy. You're right. I'm not just talking to you. My girl, my lady. You feel me? My top lady. You feel me?
So now you got a shout out and you got a cuss word. Keep going.
I end this bitch. Now what? I got two. How about that?
Oh man, I'm
Hey.
crying. That's a short, boys. That's going on a short, boys. Subscribe, subscribe, like, share, repost.
Yeah,
Tag.
dog. I'm telling y'all, this is wait till we get in person. It's gonna be boy.
Oh, that'll be fun. That's gonna be. You know what? My brother hates these backgrounds and all of that, but I can. What I do understand is when we do stuff in person, you are gonna love it. It's gonna be different.
It's gonna be way different. And y'all do not
Yeah.
get it. Like I'm not performing, but I am trying to be intentional because I hate Zoom. Like you can't even see my chest, folks. Like it don't even make sense to me. Like I
Just
pull it
do
down,
this. There
I
you
pull it
go.
down. Now I look stupid.
No, you don't.
I don't like this
There
dumb.
we go.
I ain't cuss either. You know what? I'm gonna start pulling the real on them. I hate this dumb. Ah,
There you
yeah.
go. No,
Yeah.
nobody you know.
Nobody you know. But me and Marielle, we be having conversations, and sometimes so we have a word. It's called in Spanish. It's called tranqui. Make sure I'm saying it right. It means chill, like relax. And sometimes we say that to each other when it's like, yo, I don't want to hear this whole conversation. And it's helpful because we are both like that sometimes. Like I can just be talking, and she like, look, shut up, tranqui. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing for me. And it's like, it's important to have those things because sometimes you start resenting the person or resenting what they talking about because you feel like you have to listen to them when it's like you don't have to do that. And
Hmm.
why did I bring that up? Oh, because conciseness, getting over communication. So unless there's understanding between both, like so sometimes she says she understand things and I don't, and I keep asking questions, and that's annoying. And I'm like, I understand that. Like I get that. So that's where the relationship plays the difference. I'm going to push that more with her because I need this understanding for us to have a conversation going forward. For somebody that's random, I don't really need that understanding unless it's like a car dealership. For an example, the mechanic, they don't try to over communicate because they probably trying to get over. I'm about to throw these extra charges under here. Well, what does this mean? What is that? You don't even gotta worry about that. Excuse me? What? What? Taxes. That's another thing. I just was talking about this today. Shout out my guy Paul on two. Um
2 and 2. Boy, it's getting sticky.
4 for 4, man. Like Wendy's, bro. You hear me? Um
Oh,
yeah. So I was talking with him. I'm like, so they know I owe money and they don't send me an email, a notification, nothing. I'm just supposed to guess that it's about time that I owe. It's like that's pretty much it. Under communication because they trying to get over. Insurances, they don't tell you about the deductibles and out of pay pockets right away. They tell you about what they will pay for because they, you know what I'm saying? So they trying to get you Under communication. You get to asking, well, hold on, this out of pocket cost say $1,250. Yeah, that means you got to spend $1,250 out of your own money before we put any of
Before
this
we
money.
kick in, yeah.
Sir, what? So again, under communication. So that's why I say like people who tend to under communicate are trying to get over. And remember, you used to say it, fast talkers. That's how you looked at it. Fast talkers was trying to get all fast talkers was doing was saying the same words over and over again, just in a different way. They wasn't saying more information. They was giving you the exact same. I could tell you, James, I'm hungry. Let's go get McDonald's. James, McDonald's sound good. Are you hungry? James, McDonald's is right around the corner. What you think about walking there? I said the exact same thing 3 different ways. And that's how people get over on people. And people see that as over communicating. I'm sorry. That was like 7
No,
minutes.
you good. My cousin used to do that. He used to.
Which
I
cousin?
used to be tight. I'm not saying the name. And I said the name on purpose, so you don't know if it's a he or she. I know I'm on to you. So look,
Because you've been on
this is what they would do, right? I got gummy bears or whatever, and I'm eating them. And they'd lean over and be like, man, them smell good. You think you're gonna eat the whole bag?
Yeah.
Man, I ain't had none of them in a minute. You know, you get to looking at them like, man, like Marielle, shut up.
Shut up. I'm clipping that.
But you won't ask. You'll do everything but ask. But to your point, that's the manipulation, that's the control. And especially with me, because I'm not gonna not give it to you. You my cousin, I'm the only kid, and I was taught to share. So you know you ain't gotta say, can I have one?
Question. Is it the manipulation? Well, yeah, 2 things can be true. Manipulation and lack of vulnerability. The lack of vulnerability leads to the manipulation.
Yeah, I agree. I just talked to somebody about there's a kid in one of my classes, and he's super. Everybody know this kid is cool. Nobody can say it. He come in there with his glasses. I told him he remind me of my brother. He have something on like this. Got his necklace coming out of the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, he be in class just looking at himself, and I'm like, "Nah, you cool, man." I was like, "I know it." So, he had an answer for a question, but he put his hand down. So I was like, "Yo, come here." So he came over. I was like, "You worried about if you get that answer wrong, you gonna look cool? Like you're not gonna look as cool." And he was like, "Yeah." Like I was like, so I just talked to him a little bit about being vulnerable and being receptive to not. It's not gonna take your cool away. He feel like he's on 100. Getting the answer wrong is gonna put him down to 98, and you can literally see him sometimes. If he's wrong, he just start looking around. And I'm like, no, keep looking at yourself. Like, stop looking at everybody else. But I was just talking to him a little bit about vulnerability, and another kid today in a different school, different class, same thing, talking to him about, I asked all the kids what they learned. Like, and the kid taught me how to be vulnerable without me taking things personal. And I was like, yo, like I didn't give him that answer. Everybody had to answer what they learned in class. One kid said, I learned how to work in a group with people. I learned how to work under different conditions. Like these are cool answers, but for you to understand, because I said, tell the class something that you understand. Don't give me no technical answer that you can't. Nobody, I was like, they was like, what do you mean? I was like, okay, so if I go in the studio and I start playing with the plugins and I need the music at a certain decibel, and I was like, look how y'all looking at me. I was like, y'all don't understand. I was like, but I said one thing that the class all understands. If I go in the studio and I'm messing around with how clear the song sounds or it doesn't, and the volume and the level of if it's on 20 or 0, y'all all understand. Okay, cool. So when y'all are speaking, I need y'all to explain what you understand in a way that everybody around you, or at least the majority, would understand.
So I like how you broke that down because I also utilize that same. You dope. First of all, I want to give you.
Got that from you.
Did this count? If I do that, did this count? I don't think that counts.
Yep. That's a half. That's a half.
Okay. Okay. Let's make it a whole.
So you
let's bring it together.
So that's 4 or 5.
In total, of like if everything,
No, that's not it. We ain't even gonna count that on this episode.
just three.
4, oh, 3
Three
and 2.
curse words. Yeah, five total, yes.
Yeah, yeah, man, you
Anyway,
looking nice out here. Go ahead.
yeah, that's my
Okay.
number two. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was gonna say. Oh, there we go. So I tell it like I say, explain it like you would to a kid. Like, so if they're middle schoolers, I would say try to explain it to like a first grader or a kindergartner. And that way it makes them break down, okay, you're using the word discipline. How would you explain what discipline is to a kid? Doing something you don't want to do when you have to do it. You know, being able to break that down. So then something you said, vulnerability. I teach my clients that there's strength in vulnerability. That's that's what we talk about. You can't have community without somebody being vulnerable. And I think that's something that I was always good at because like that cool kid, like me and you had these conversations. I had no perception of cool because I was bullied. I was fat. I had a bald spot. You know,
You was cool still though.
but and I never would have thought that. And people did say that, like you show confidence. I'm like, bro, I got this blueberry ass suit on. That's not a cuss word. That's in the Bible. Um, you know, that's what people be saying. Oh,
I got a
oh,
question.
yeah.
No, if we were talking about you cussing, this definitely wouldn't be the number that would be up. All right, let's say that. Let's say that. This is what they do when they about to get out of when they getting out of the aisle to go to the bathroom. All right, but no, this is my question for you. Can you explain strength and vulnerability? I'm glad I think we're finding our groove here with me speaking more so for the people. Not that you can't, because you're more inclined to give both sides of the story. But you know me, I'm so difficult, so stubborn. I can really speak for the people in this regard. What for the people is the strength and vulnerability? I think that's what they really want to hear because it seems so weak to be vulnerable. I feel like you're actually taking a piece from me or a piece of me or of my energy. I don't feel too strong when I'm being vulnerable. So what is the actual strength for said person?
No, that's a great question. So I
I
think
know. Go ahead.
I don't think the people would respond like that. I think they would. You see this country, they would respond like that. They'd be like, matter of fact, pat me on the back. Don't just tell me that. I want to hear more. um, you know, so I think the strength is in two different places. Let's start with self. I think the strength is in security of self. Me telling you this vulnerable thing doesn't make me any less of a person. It doesn't make me any less of who I am. So that shows I have a security about me. I can let you in on this because I know even if you take this and go tell the world, that doesn't make me less of who I am. This is a moment of me. This isn't who I am. This is a part of my past, or this is a part of what's is going to make me better than in the future because you're always just trying to outdo yourself. So when you're not living in a place of comparison, that strength is in self because I don't have to worry about what you doing or what you doing because what you doing doesn't dictate what I do. But that's the world we live in. And then strength in community. That strength breeds community. So what I mean by that is more often than not, right? Funerals bring people closer together. What are people naturally doing at a funeral? Mourning. It's a time of sadness. It's vulnerable. What's happening during birthday parties? People usually have more arguments. People are a little bit more obsessed because of ego and pride. Those don't breed community, those breed division. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why they give us two electoral parties to vote for because there's division. If we had a party where they had the best of the Democrat, the best of the Republicans, and put it into one, they wouldn't have division anymore because people naturally want to see like this is the craziest part about human nature. Individually, people are smart. Together, people are stupid. You put people together, they're going to follow the crowd because of that lack of vulnerability. I don't want to be seen as the person doing something different. There's a study where they talk about it's called co give me 1 second. It's only gonna literally nope. I know you. Give me 30 seconds.
You called me right when I was about to say one.
There we go. The social experiment. It is the test. What was that? The test. Kennedy camera. Conformity. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Conformity.
That sounds like a college word. You know, I wouldn't.
Man, shut up, dog. Conformity. So conformity is something like this. So you know how we talk about followers? That's what conformity is. So if you get into an elevator, James, and everybody is facing the back, like the elevator door is facing, it opens like this, and everybody is facing the back, what would you do?
I'll start looking around. Me personally,
But what would you do when the elevator door closes when you got in?
turn the opposite way of everybody else.
So you would face the elevator, the doors, like the natural, like how you're supposed.
Yeah.
So most people would turn with the other people because they don't want to be looked at as opposite or the abnormal one. So conformity teaches us about the in groups and the out groups. You're a part of my in group, meaning that I can always agree with you. We can be happy. If you're in the out group, I have to distance myself from you. Again, back to politics. Yes.
So this is the last question too, because we both gotta go.
Yeah.
But why do shoot? I forgot my question that fast. Why do people conform with people that they don't know? Why is
Oh,
it so easy to follow people you don't even know?
because I don't even know myself. So like
Oh.
most people don't really think about the things they're doing. They're on autopilot.
So even with that said, sorry to cut you
No,
off.
this
Even
is
with that
perfect.
said, it almost fits because you're following a whole bunch of people that don't know themselves anyway. So you maybe perhaps recognize the insecurities in them.
So it's like I can be with this group. And what do they say? It's the sheep, lost sheep following each other, or what's that?
Went to church school my whole life, and I
Don't
know
even
the
know.
least about the Bible. God help me. Father help me.
You know, I don't even believe in religion. So you know how we do. I get on that biblical though.
Yeah,
But
we can do that. But
no,
yeah,
this was a
go
great
ahead.
episode. I wanted to say, man, I'm not shouting nobody out, but I
I mean,
appreciate
you have already. It won't hurt.
I appreciate you, man. And I wanted to say, dog, thank you for being who you are because y'all don't know this, but before session, I just shot him out. So he got it already. Man, who y'all see today, he has helped me a lot. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, blessing me with him, blessing me
That's
with
a
the
shout out.
laws.
That's a shout out. That counts as a
That's
shout
one
out.
I always give. I do 3 more of them. Hey, hallelujah. I give it to my father all the time. But man, keeping the laws, man, led me to my brother, which led me to being able to grow in my own understanding of self. And so, man, I want to thank you for being who you are because you allowed me to grow. And I appreciate you, bro.
You too, Brody. Especially in this episode, I was just looking at my brother go like, yo, he talking that stuff. Love you. Thanks for tuning in to the Hearts of the Community. My kids are coming in. I'm Jay.
This is Jules. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yep. Like all of that.
All right,
Peace.
peace out.